There have been arrests made, and arrests by their very nature involve some amount of use of force.
You can watch sunset over at the Cherry Beach.
And I grew up with the safety element, so you're kind of pulling on a heartstring here a little bit.
The genocide in Gaza impacts us all.
I am committed to serve all of you, work for all of you, and most importantly, work with all of you.
This is our Mayor Olivia Chow, by far the worst mayor Toronto has ever seen. Her antics and lack of common sense have ruined Toronto, and continues to do so to this day. It seems Chow only attends events where there is free food and dance, where she can boogie the night away. And when it comes to issues that don't involve fun, Chow is nowhere to be seen. This is Chief Myron Demkew, the Toronto Police Chief. Now, Chief Demkew only comes out of hiding when there are no cameras around, and is mostly seen in his gas-guzzling chauffeur-driven SUV. Toronto is crumbling before our eyes, and the city that once was a nice place to raise a family is nothing more than a cesspool of drugs, shootings, gang violence, human trafficking, and Palestine protests where they get special treatment from our police. They are beginning to control our streets, cause havoc in our neighborhoods, and even get their own Palestine flag raised at Toronto City Hall. Now let's take a look on how these two imbeciles have single-handedly let Toronto burn to the ground while they sit back and watch. On November 15th, 2025, I drove to the corner of Shepherd Avenue and Bathurst Street in Toronto in order to document the conflict between the Jewish and Palestine protesters that have been happening for the past 2 years now. I've attended them in the past and noticed a considerable bias the Toronto police have towards the Palestine protesters, and that bias being letting them do whatever they want. Journalists, photographers, and the Jewish population are often threatened with arrest, bullied, and roughed up by the Toronto police for standing in the wrong place on a public sidewalk. Every time I attend one of these protests, I notice this more and more. David Menzies from Rebel News has been arrested multiple times just for practicing journalism. The police brass have no clue what they're doing. The police foot soldiers are given mixed messages and orders and seem to be constantly shifting back and forth on where people can and cannot stand. It's quite humorous and unsettling at the same time. Here is an interview from a retired Toronto Police homicide detective, Hank Insignia, and the president of the Toronto Police Association, expressing their concerns over Chief Demkew and the way the Toronto Police conduct themselves at these protests.
And this protest at Bathurst and Shepherd yesterday, we played the audio of this Narrowway Baptist Church who just showed up. Nice sunny Sunday. The weather stayed good for a while. And they basically added to a little bit of the disorder in a residential area. We played them blasting through a loudspeaker. To be honest, to me, like just some religious stuff that I didn't understand. And at the same time, I feel like that's the line. I watched a couple officers watching this, and I know, listen, your job literally is to advocate for your union members and your men and women. But I can't imagine a scenario where they're not breaking a law by blasting megaphones through a residential neighborhood and screaming at people.
Yeah, so I mean, I've seen the video and I've seen the comments from some public officials, and I want to be really clear. I feel for the people in these neighborhoods. I would feel scared and upset and angry that this continues to happen. But again, I want to try and say to the public, if you have concerns about what is going on with policing, please bring it up with the command officers, the chiefs that are in charge. I think the chief and the command, quite frankly, have not done a very good job of communicating to the public about what's lawful and what's not. As Hank knows, the senior command, the chief and his deputies will have access to an entire legal services department an entire communications department. I think they need to be on the radio talking about what's lawful and what's not. And I understand the frustration. I want to make that clear. But at the same time, I cannot and I will not stand by and let any of the focus be on the members that are out there trying to do the best they can. With clear-cut arrests, they make them. But I can promise you, if one of our members were to step in there and make an arrest without clear direction from command, command is not going to back them up. They're going to scapegoat them, and they're going to find themselves facing discipline. And they're not going to risk, as an example, losing their job for that. So I think it's very important that the command get on here, invite them on here, get them on 640 to explain exactly what their position is on these situations.
That is my designated journalism zone. Listen, get up into there. Sir, this is a public sidewalk.
Arrest him!
Where were you guys last week when they went into a residential Jewish neighborhood and started spewing hateful
this guy.
And then
Who else could we ask for except Chief Demke?
Yeah, I mean, go through Corpcom, call them out, ask them to be on the radio. I've communicated to them. I think it's very important. You know, I come on here. My job, as you say, is to represent the members. They do the best they can. And I've also heard criticism about, you know, members should just do it anyways. I mean, let's be honest here. If they made an arrest yesterday without clear direction and someone was seriously injured, a broken bone, or God forbid, they had to use lethal force, do you really think, and I know the answer, is the chief and the command going to defend them and say, oh, yeah, I support them? No, they have the potential of losing their job. So I think it's very important that the command get out here and do a better job with communicating to the public exactly what's allowed and what's not allowed and their justification behind it. It's simple. Get on the radio, speak to the media, and explain this to the public.
I think you're a coward also. You can have your opinion. You'll do what they say because it's the path of least resistance.
No, I'm trying to keep the peace.
No, you're not. If you were trying to keep the police,
if anybody
you would
wants
crack
to
down on the thugs.
If you want to
You're
be in
doing
there,
their bidding.
just stand over here, okay?
I don't have to. Canada is my free speech zone, sir.
Sir, I understand that, okay?
But you're violating
your
my
presence
charter
in that group
rights.
is inciting the potential for
I
violence.
haven't incited anything. They have.
Your presence alone.
And you have obeyed them.
So, again, here's where I want you to stand, okay?
I know you want me to stand here, but you're not the law.
Well, I am the law.
No, you're not the law, sir.
So,
you're a servant of the law.
There
You
go.
are not the law.
So now if you want to interview anybody, they know they can come and talk to
I'm
you.
not interested in interviewing them.
All right, well,
I
then
want to
videotape.
show
You can
the
videotape from
astonishing
here as
hate
well.
crime.
So now in Canada, especially Toronto, the Toronto police are now telling journalists where they can and cannot stand in public places, especially a sidewalk. But the Palestinian side, they can stand wherever they want, and they can get free coffee from the Toronto Police Service.
You are protected. What a coward you are, sir. Run away, you little coward. What a coward. Holy Christ.
I already have. I crossed no one. Grace, you're Jewish, no? So I said to you before, you're allowed
We were here last week.
Right. You had a designated area to stay in, and you agreed to stay in it.
I did not. What are you talking about?
Well, absolutely. Acting Inspector Ford told me they had a media area for you, and you guys stayed in it,
did
and
not.
they came back.
We did not.
Well,
because it's not up to him to say you have free speech there, but not here.
Well, yeah, because you're inciting this crowd, and then it breaches the peace.
As I said to you,
Well, your presence is inciting them, and that's
I'm a
exactly
Jew.
what you're trying to
Because
do.
I'm a Jew.
No, because you're trying to incite them.
I haven't tried to incite them. I went to take a picture of the hate crime that
You could
you're
have done it on
abiding.
the other side. You didn't need to walk over
No,
here.
I wanted to go out. I don't
Now I'm
think
going to tell you to
anyone-
move over there.
And
if you
ultimately,
don't
I
cross
allowed you to take that video.
Let's get
I
that
allowed
on
you to
there.
take that
Yeah.
I'm not
So you're
crossing the
refusing
road.
to leave?
I'm refusing to leave.
Why?
Because I'm a Jew, I'm a citizen, and I'm your boss. And I don't leave because you say Jews aren't
Well, you know
allowed
what?
on the street.
In the interest of keeping peace here and public safety, you're under arrest for breach of the peace. Take a minute.
Good. Take this. I'm being arrested because I'm standing on the sidewalk in my city. I'm a Jew who lives in this neighborhood, and I'm being arrested because the police say that's the path of least resistance.
That's my property, first of all. That's all Canada you just disrespected. Do you understand that? Do you understand what you just did? You disrespected our country, man. God keep our land glorious and free. There's no amplifier. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God bless Canada.
But you probably don't have much faith it's going to get taken, because I think somebody then has to come on the radio. Myron Demke hasn't been on this station in 22 months, and the last time he was, rightly so, he was asking for a larger police budget to fight a lot of the rampant crime increases that were there.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and please leave your comments after this video ends. I love hearing from all of my subscribers and hearing what you have to say about our ever crumbling city. We need a police chief who is present and seen, and we also need a mayor who actually cares about this city. This is Mad Lab Press.